Happiness in marriage is not something that just happens. A good marriage must be created. In marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say, I love you, at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is at no time taking the other for granted. The courtship should not end with honeymoon. It is having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is standing together, facing the world. It is forming a circle of love that gathers the whole family. It is doing things for each other, not in the attitude of duty or sacrifice, but in the spirit of joy. It is not looking for perfection in each other. It is cultivating flexibility, patience, understanding, and a sense of humor. It is not marrying the right partner. It is being the right partner.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Amazing. You look amazing.
Thank you.
What a special day.
Yeah. I got this for you.
Oh,
In case you cry.
I'm going to let them roll. I don't care. Oh. Yeah. I'm happy. That's a happy tears.
Yeah, good. John, today as we stand before our friends and family, I want to take a moment to celebrate the incredible bond we share. From the very beginning, you have not been just my partner, but my best friend. As we join our families together, I promise to cherish and love Carter as my own, just as I know you will do for Michaela. I pledge to nurture the bond that we share, rooted in our love for the same things. Whether it's cheering on our favorite football teams, playing golf, or beating you in fantasy football every year. As we travel the world together, exploring new places and creating unforgettable memories, I vow to stand by your side, embracing every adventure that life has to offer. Together we will write our own story filled with love, respect, and endless happiness. I promise to support you, to encourage you, and to love you for all the days of our lives. You are my heart, my home, and my everything. I love you now and always.
All right, Katrina, from the moment we met, I knew you were different. I think about our first conversation all the time. I asked what kind of music you liked, and without skipping a beat, you said you loved Kodak Black. I had no idea what I was in for, but I knew exactly at that moment it was for me. We often joke and say that we met in church, but the truth is, you're still as beautiful as you were 13 years ago when I liked a picture of you on IG. And before we knew it and ever had a chance to even say hello, 8 years later, fate brought you into my life somehow. You've been my rock. I cannot express what an amazing impact you have had on my life, from being the only person who never doubted how successful my transition out of the Army would be. You supported me in every transition since then. The best decision I've ever made in my life is to build a family with you. Every moment with you is filled with fun, laughter, and the effortless kind of love I didn't know existed. You make me feel lighter when life is heavy. You challenge me and support me. You love me in a way that has changed my entire world. Loving you has been the easiest thing I've done, but what makes it even more meaningful is the love that surrounds you. Your family welcomed me, but more importantly, welcomed Carter into their lives like both of us were meant to be there. They are a true reflection of you, kind, strong, and always willing to laugh. Watching my son be embraced by both you and your side of the family, and feeling him loved as your own, has meant more to me than you'll ever know. And for Michaela, your beautiful daughter, she has become part of my heart in ways I never expected, but I always hoped for. I love her like my own. I promise to always protect her, guide her, and cheer her on every step of her life. Katrina, I vowed to show up for you every day. I promise to make you laugh, even if it's terrible, corny Kodak Black references. I vow to always stand beside you through whatever life brings, and to always grow with you. I will always do my best to lead you, Carter, and Michaela through everything, and I will wake up every day loving you and choosing you. Love you.
By the power vested in me, in the state of Florida and Mexico, in the Providence Center, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss.
Well, here's a toast to the most amazing people in the world. My daughter and my son-in-law. I'm proud to be a father-in-law and your father. You've made me so proud. You've succeeded in life, and I'm just so proud of you. This is such an emotional moment for me. It's got to be the best time of my whole life. I've never had anything like this happen to me ever. You guys are amazing. To you, to them.
Well, I've known John for a long time. As a matter of fact, I'm the only man I was the first man to lay hands on him other than the doctor that delivered him. For those of you who don't know, I'm also John's father. And I can talk for days about John. He's one of my favorite subjects, but I'll try to keep this to only about an hour or so. So when John first asked me to do this, I told him no. I told him that it was an honor, but that belongs to his best friend. John told me that's why he asked me. I again said that he needed to ask one of his closest friends to do it, that I really appreciated the offer. John told me that he was going to have two. It was me and Damien. Damien, where are you at? So I told John, I said, hey, John, that's okay. Damien needs to do it. He's the only one that needs to be your best man. You only need one. John then told me that if he was only going to have one, that he was going to have to tell Damien that he was not going to be his best man. And John, you're my best friend too. John, he was a very smart baby. For example, he knew his ABCs before he was 2. But John was not only smart, he was thinking at a different level than most kids. For example, John, when he said his ABCs, he would get to QRSTU. And he would say QRST me, then V, and then he'd say double me XYZ. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Well, then it dawned on me that this 2-year-old was realizing that when you said you, it meant me to him. So when he was saying his ABCs, he was saying QRST instead of UV me, he was saying UVW, he was saying QRST me V, double me back to us. I first realized that something had changed in my son when I went to his West Point graduation. We were walking around Camp Buckner, and I asked John, I said, John, are you going to miss this? And his response startled me. He stopped, looked me in the eye, and said, I'm going to miss having no responsibilities. Again, John was thinking ahead of everyone else, and that life for him was changing, and that's when I knew my boy was now a man. John followed my career, and of course his destiny from his birth. He became an Army combat leader, a cavalryman. He had a long, hard path to follow because I had been in the profession for a long time, and it was pretty well known in the Army ranks. John once told me that he was tired of living in my shadow, that everywhere he went, they would see his name tag and say, Moffett, is your dad? Well, I'd been retired for a few years, and John got stationed at the National Training Center in Fort Irwin, California. And I was working for a company called Raytheon, and I was responsible for the training support at the National Training Center at that time. And I had a meeting with the Army leadership out there, pretty much John's bosses at the time. Well, I walked in to introduce myself, and I said to the colonel, I said, sir, my name's Bob Moffett. Well, he stopped me in my tracks again, and he said, John, he said, Moffett, is your son John? Well, at that point, John was no longer living in my footsteps. I was living in his. There's more leadership in John's little finger than I have my entire body, and he continues to prove that every day. Well, folks, me and Katrina at times did not see eye to eye. We had a little shaky start. The one thing she knew was that John was the right guy and nothing was going to stand in her way of that. Well, Katrina, I'm sorry that I did not see what you did. Or what John did, I'm sorry. You are a wonderful person and have made a family already with John, Carter, and Michaela, and what a wonderful one it is. Little story no one knows. I believe it was at the engagement party. I was sitting across from Katrina. She looked over at me and whispered so that only I could hear her, and she said, "I love you, Pap." I looked back and I said, "I love you too, Katrina." Tears rolled down her eyes because she worked hard and long to hear those words come from my mouth. Katrina, I love you.